That is the voice of Luiz-Ottavio Faria, my guest today on Sebron. Hello, Luis. How are you?
Hey, what's up? I'm fine. How are you, dear?
Great, great. Good to see you. It's been a decades, really. I was trying to remember where we actually first met. I think it was Opera Ebony.
Oh, yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Yeah. But do you remember the production? I can't remember what it was.
Was the something the Night Star or how you call the before God goes I'm on the sea? I don't remember.
Oh, oh
I
gosh.
ooh, ooh, ooh.
It was about South Africa, right?
Yes,
Yes. Oh
correct.
gosh, I've got the score up there on the shelf. I have to look
Yeah.
at it. Yeah.
And Wayne
Yeah.
Thunders and my beloved teacher Ben Matthews. Oh, I
Yes.
miss that man so much. And
Yeah.
they were all there, guiding us through the process and the preparation for that wonderful performance that we gave.
Lost in the Stars. That was it.
Lost in a Star.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Well, such great memories, and I have to smile whenever I hear. I am rather partial to lower male voices because my father was a bass baritone.
Oh,
So when you go for those low notes and I start smiling, it's just something about it. It took me a while to really warm up to tenors. I wasn't really.
I
Maybe,
understand. I understand.
so just tell me, when we're talking about voice categories, are you a basso profundo, a basso cantabile? How do you define your voice?
I'm glad you asked. I'm just a bass. I'm a bass the way it's supposed to be. Unfortunately, today, if you are baritone and you cannot sing a high note, if you cannot sing an A, you just become a bass. Isn't that convenient? So, like some sopranos can sing high notes and suddenly they're mezzo. No, I was born a bass. The moment I came to this planet, this was on November 10th, 1963, 11:30 p.m. I start to, and the doctor say, this is a bass. You understand? Because the bass repertoire is divided like this, what they call the serious basso,
Yeah.
basso cantante, that is like a Don Giovanni, Leporello, uh, and then that's it. For me, is that it? There is the bass that they call serious bass, like a Zarastro, who does Fiesco, etc., etc., etc. What I find interesting that since Monteverdi, you know, this idea has really never changed. But now we are in the year 2000, 2010, and people start to invent a new technique, new story about how to sing. And then if you sing in such a way, they will say, "Oh, this is the old school." Which old school? Opera is an old school. Excuse me.
Well, I think the old school was healthy as well. I mean, if
Oh
you have
yes, and
people
they do well.
pushing down on their voices, I mean, how long is that going to
Right,
last?
right,
Right?
exactly. So, according to the German FAR, that I believe that is the most correct. If you see, you you're born to sing some things and end of the story. I mean,
Hmm.
you can, of course, when you are young, you going in,
And wait a minute, young and foolish.
yes. But then, if you have the right guidance, you sing what is for you. Then you
Yes.
go. A young bass can never sing. Why not? Once I was in a production that they found a bass. Oh, but he's 18 years old. And I say, oh, for God's sake, who can, don't matter how good you are. You are
But you
18-year old.
understand what that means.
You are 18 years old. You
Hmm.
probably never had a girlfriend. And suddenly you want to play the man that his son is in love with his wife.
Can I tell you just briefly, my first Don
Please.
Carlo was with Nikolai Gayarov. I'm having trouble speaking today. He
My
was
favorite.
he was 70 years old,
Thank you.
and we were at Bologna.
Ah,
That was my debut was with him
oh
as the
my
king. And
goodness.
when he sang that, even though, at 70, it's not the same voice at 50 or the same voice at 35,
Right.
but it had so much import in the meaning of the words and communicating the emotion of that moment. It
Hmm.
was it was riveting. So I have to say Don Carlos is one of my favorite operas. And
Well, I wonder why. I
because
wonder.
it's fun.
Because
And
you'll be a fabulous, you are a fabulous poet. That's what it is. Because you were born to sing that part, and that's what it is.
well, I will say this, my best singing days are behind me, but I still have my voice. Now, here's the question I have for you
Okay.
about your training. Now, you're originally from Brazil, right? Which city?
From Rio de Janeiro, of course.
Okay. And what was it like growing up knowing that you were born to sing in Rio de Janeiro?
Well, was very interesting
Hmm.
because my father was in the army, and my mother, she used to sing.
Ah,
Uh, yeah, of course. What can you do, my dear friend, when you have not much to do? Woman at that time has very little opportunity. All right. The only way you can bear with everything that's going around you is to sing. And this
hmm.
was her joy to sing. Everybody where I come from used to sing. Why? Because singing is a free expression that give you such a
Well, let me dig a little deeper here
all
because
right.
you are Afro-Brazilian, if I may
Yes,
say
of
that.
course. Yes,
Okay.
of course.
And in American traditions, singing is very important culturally as far as religion is concerned as well,
All right.
but also socially. So what you're saying is around the times when you were doing various activities, singing was a major part of that. Is
Yes,
that?
of course, of course. And then that's what's happening, because uh, my mother gave me a guitar, acoustic guitar, when I was, because we couldn't afford to have a piano for it. That's another story.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm going to about, right? So she
Oh,
gave
oh
me a,
yeah.
oh, okay, all right, all right. So, and then she gave me a guitar, and my father, he was like, I don't know about that, you know, this big guy, I don't like that, he's taller than me already. And he going around with the guitar. What about the studies? What about the future? What about this? What about that? And my father said, okay, carry on. You can play your guitar. That's fine. We'll keep you out of trouble. However, you're going to have to find something to work, because for what I understand, nobody will pay you to play guitar. And I said, oh, why not? And I said, just look around, boy. Do you see anybody that looks like you on the television? Do you see anybody that looks like you singing in any theater? Oh, wait a minute. I say, so yes, that's what it is. And I said, okay. So then I went to school, a technical school, and I became an electrician. And then I started to do a maintenance. And then I got a diploma in the, what they call the industrial electronic maintenance. And then I was working. I was
Hmm.
working. I just had my music inclination on the side, you know, and singing every Friday, Saturdays, and Sundays. I was just enjoying myself,
Yeah.
playing around. And
So wait, Luis, up until this point, you hadn't studied voice or anything. You were just singing naturally.
natural. That's it.
Okay.
Nothing. Zero,
All
nada.
right.
But because also what I just said to you, that although I felt, remember what, on that day, November 10th, 1963? Yes, exactly.
Oh, oh.
I knew I got something in there
Mm-hmm.
because every time I would speak to somebody would say, wow, okay, all right. But that's it. But I was very happy. You see, that's one of the things that comes with life. What is happiness? I used to work in a sugar loft. I don't know if you know what it is. Sugar loft is one of the most important landmark in Brazil, in Rio de Janeiro.
No.
It's the one that has the two telepheric cars that go from the lower part of
Was that the one with
Praia.
Jesus up on the top?
No, the other one, the opposite. They call the sugar loft.
Okay.
All right. So they go. I used to work making the maintenance of that place. And at the same time, I went to a university they call Rio that is conveniently 5 minutes walking distance from my workplace. So I was studying just music, and I had one lesson a week. It was okay. The funny thing, that I used to play guitar. I forgot my guitar inside, otherwise I would bring it. Because I was going to sing and start singing. Hoje eu quero a rosa mais linda que houver, quero a primeira estrela que vier. And I had a problem because every time I had to sing, I only sang in F major or C major.
Why is
because
that?
because that's the chord that would come to my mind clear and would fit my vocal instrument. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
But I had a problem to sing an A, and I couldn't figure out why was that. Very well, time passed. I used to go to one place in what they call Região dos Lagos, the regions of the lakes in Rio de Janeiro. Beautiful place, and the place called Maricá. And I stopped by I had my guitar. I have a picture of that, around my neck. And people will come from Rio de Janeiro to visit me because we used to have a place there in this region that I only go in the weekends. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was there waiting for the bus to arrive from Rio so I could pick up my friend and go back to the house and have some fun and have some caipirinhas and have some, hey, that's the weekend. Hey, end of the story.
Party time.
Party time. And then comes this man with a yellow car, a sport Chevrolet. I said, hey, do you know where is the street that would take me to Rio de Janeiro? And I say, holy Moses, it's going to rain here today. What's going on here? And then I say, what the?
Was that Ben Matthews by any chance?
No. Was the most famous baritone in Brazil. They call Fernando Teixeira.
Uh-huh.
But I had no idea who was this man. I have no clue. I was into the music, but I was not into the lyric. I was not going to the opera, nothing like that. And I said, well, it's very simple. I was trying to imitate him. Oh, well, it's very simple. You just go here, make your first left. And then in your first right, you turn and go for about 2 miles. And then when you can go no farther, you turn left. That is the road 116. All right? So you go. Keep on going, my friend. And you're going to see sign to say Rio de Janeiro. I say, very well. Nice to talk to you. I say, oh, nice to talk to you too, sir. And he went. Instead of to make the right that I said, he comes back where I was. I say, what's the matter with this people? What's the matter? And then he comes right back where I was in shorts. I remember it was a red short. I remember it like today. I have a photographic memory, I guess. With my guitar in my around my neck.
Mm-hmm.
And I say, are you a singer? I say, no. do you sing opera? I say, no, opera. What is that? No, I don't. And they say, my name is Fernando Teixeira. I say, uh-huh. And they say, I say, all right.
Okay.
I say, oh, okay, Fernando Teixeira. I say, and mine is Luiz-Ottavio Faria. And they say, good, never heard. I say, oh, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. And I say, well, this is the story. I'm a voice teacher at the Instituto Villa-Lobos of
Wow.
music in the center of Rio de Janeiro. Here is my card. When you come back to town, just give me a call, come to the school. I would like to do some vocalize with you and see where you are and see what the hell. I say, what the hell are you doing with this guitar around your neck? I say, excuse me. I say, well, we sing here. We sing, I say, you're throwing the pearls to the pork. I said, excuse me. You should be singing opera. I said, oh. I say, all right. So here's the card. I say, he gave me the card. I put inside of the hole of my guitar, and I forgot it. And then bye-bye, Fernando Teixeira. He went away. If you Google, you'll find out. No, he was the most famous ever Brazilian singer after Bidu Sayão. He was the biggest of the biggest of the biggest. Mm-hmm. Very well. Came Saturday, Sunday, and 350 caipirinhas later, I went back home. And then Monday, I went to work. And then I used to get, every time I had nothing to do, I simply would take my guitar and start to. It's better than go to the street and, get in trouble. My father was right about that. And then one day I hear the noise inside of my guitar. And I say, what the hell is that? I thought it was a roach or something, some kind of, inside of my guitar.
That's a big roach.
Yeah. Guess what? Was the card. And I used to have one guitar lesson a week. And I say, you know what? Since I'm going to be in the center, I'm going to stop by and visit him. And I went to this conservatory. They call the Villa-Lobos Conservatory.
Yeah.
And then I say, well, je suis ici, maestro. I say, I'm here. Tell me what can we do? And then he said to the piano, let's go, my friend. And all this and that. And I say, okay, all right, wait a minute. He said, and I say, aha. Now I understand why I cannot go and say, what? Go any higher. I say, what? What are you talking about? Which high? What were you talking about? I say, no, because I want to sing, I have this song here, and then I start to sing for him, a pop song, Brazilian pop song, and then I go to La, to A, even a B. And I say, no, you are bass. You were born a bass, my friend, like myself. But he was a baritone, but he had like the deepest baritone voice you ever heard. And he would, people say,
without pushing, yes.
Yeah,
oh gosh.
You hear all those baritones say, okay, never mind. But just leave that alone for now. So, Fernando Teixeira, I say, well, guess what? What time you finish your job? And I say, well, and your work? I say, well, I finish around 5:30. It was 9 to 5. Mm-hmm. And he said, well, come back. Come on Monday. Let's have a voice lesson every Monday. I say, fine. And then a month later, he was given, come on Wednesday too. I say, all right. And then 3 times a week, plus 1 with the pianist. That's how we go to learn something. If you are serious about learning something, I had 3 voice lessons a week, plus 1 with the pianist.
Yeah.
And for 3 years alone, the only thing we did was vocal technique. My teacher, he studied with Maria Caniglia. You know who she was, right?
No.
Maria Caniglia is a famous Italian soprano. She came to Rio de Janeiro in the 50s, and she was like a big star in Brazil. And she came to, my teacher was a taxi driver. You see, the irony of the destiny, la forza del destino.
Yes.
And then he goes to the airport and taxi, taxi. And who was this lady? And say, he opened the door. She comes inside. He picked up her luggage, put in the trunk, and brother says, where are you going, miss? I'm going to the Teatro Municipal do Rio de Janeiro. I say, and the lady said, man, this guy sounds like got something. Is giving that you receive. He did exactly to me what Maria Canilla did to him. And she said to him like this, I'm sorry, I'm about to finish. You asked the question, now you bear the way.
No, so, I'm just agreeing. I'm just smiling because they're for the people that I run into, there always seems to be this metaphysical, spiritual element.
Amen.
And that's why I'm just smiling and shaking my head. You go ahead and finish the story. And then I have to ask you, we're going to jump forward because I have to ask you about some things.
Just give me 1 more second and I finish the story. So
yes,
he takes her to the hotel. And you know, this is a Brazilian thing. When you get into the taxi and you start, hey, what's up? Well, how is life? And blah, 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 blah. Well, when you have somebody that is speaking and you don't understand, you don't know if it's going to rain because you hear something like you don't understand, excuse me. She said, what are you doing tonight? I say, well, I was going to go home and they said, bring some, do you sing? My teacher used to sing already. He was singing in the small companies, but like everybody, he had to work. Like I did have to work as well. He was working 12 hours a day driving taxis. And then she said, my dear, I want you to come to this place tonight. Was the Lage family, Laga, one of the most famous family in Brazil. We're going to have a sarau.
Luis, hold on 1 second. It's not recording for some reason. Wait. Oh yeah, it is recording. Okay, I'm sorry. I lost the icon and I started to get worried because this is so good.
Why
Go
don't
ahead.
you
I'm sorry.
That you want to interrupt the end of my story?
Pardonnez-moi, pardonnez-moi.
Un moment. Okay, d'accord. N'est pas problème. Okay, then he came and he sung, and the rest is history. Because she say, listen, I want you to come to Italy. You're going to stay in my house. We're talking about Maria Canilla. Maria Canilla. Google her, you see, she was huge. And then she was working with him every day in her house. Her husband was also a maestro. And after this, 1 year later, he came back. He was like the big star. He sang with Domingo. He sang with a lot of people everywhere. But he loves Brazil and he likes to stay in Brazil, and he stayed in Brazil, and that's it.
What a wonderful story, and a segue to your arrival here in the United States at the Juilliard School.
Right.
We'll talk briefly about that and then go on to your professional life, because you have been going gangbusters with the Verdi repertoire and the Grande Opera, right? So just talk about your experience at Juilliard, because I'm a Juilliard graduate as well, but I was there before you were.
Are you sure about that?
I'm pretty sure, yes.
I doubt. You know more than 30 years, so I don't know what
you are my friend for life.
I was there in 1989, and you could not possibly.
I have been there and gone.
Probably your father was dating your mother, thinking about, I think we should have a mezzo-soprano in the family. What do you think? You were not around.
I'll tell you my story when we're off camera, but
all right, my pleasure.
How did you get to the Juilliard from Brazil?
Oh, that's another story.
Well, let me hear it.
All right, if you're ready, there you go.
I'm ready.
Oh Lordy, give me strength. I don't remember exactly the date. I think it was 1988. Yes, indeed. It was 1988. A great soprano, the name Aineta Harris, came to Brazil, to the University of Rio de Janeiro, what we call Unirio, to give a masterclass in Negro spirituals.
Oh.
Uh-huh. And she was there with Lorna Thompson also, and she was giving a masterclass in the Negro spirituals and piano as well. She was a very good singer, a very good pianist. And guess what? I want to sing. I was already singing something, Remember that I was working on the side, on the sugar loss, 10 hours a day. I was happy. Hey, no complaint about that.
Mm-hmm.
But I was going to the school at the same time. And we were singing here, we were singing there, and I said, sing something, Luiz-Ottavio, sing something. And then I was singing this, and then I was part of her master class as well of the spiritual. And one of my favorite spiritual was Fix Me, Jesus. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Oh, yeah, that's a beautiful one.
Oh, yes. And she taught me that. Oh, boy, I never forget. Whew. And oh, my Lord, when I remember this, I feel it's so emotional to me, I have to say. At the same time, Benjamin Matthews and Wayne Sanders, my dear Wayne Sanders, they were doing, and Fernando Bicudo, they were doing organ bass in Rio de Janeiro. And Aineta Harris say, wait a minute, why don't you audition for them? I say, sure, I will audition for them. And then I did audition, and they turned me down. I guess I was not black enough. I don't know what it was. I know they turned me down. And she was surprised. And she said, oh, I don't understand either, but that's all right. You know what? I know we will be doing organ bass in Berlin, and then in Musica Verein in Vienna. And the choir master is Francois Clement.
I think my sister was in the chorus for that production.
Yes.
Louisa, yeah.
Hey, Louisa, do you allow me to show you something very quick?
Sure.
All right, so I'm gonna carry you here along. Just let me know if it's coming closer. It's coming closer. Look at him in the center. And Louisa is right there. Do you see it? Caroline?
In the striped shirt?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, now maybe you can see better.
Yeah, hold it steady. Yeah. Pretty awesome, huh?
Uh-huh.
There's so many circles of connection here.
Oh, yes. Amen. Amen.
Mm-hmm.
Amen. Amen.
Mm-hmm. So you were in that production.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. And then she say, well, why don't you send something to Francois, Maestro Clement, to see if he likes you? I say, yes, indeed, I will do that. And I sang, guess what I sent for him? One cassette tape singing, there's an old man called the Mississippi.
From Showboat, yeah.
That's an old man that I like to be. And they say, we need a bass, come. And I say, all right, we're going to rehearsal here in 100th Street in a church. And we'll be doing organ bass in Berlin in the Theater des Westen. And we want you. I say, all right, I'm on. And then on the winter of 1988, I was in my way to New York City. And I came to sing in a chorus with Francois Clement. And we went to Berlin and all this and that. And then after this, they say, wait, what's your plan, man? And I say, yeah, I have to go back home. No, I have to go back home and, back to Rio de Janeiro. And the Aineta, Francois Clement said, no, you don't. No, you don't go back to Rio, boy. You have to audition to the schools here. And I say, hey, but hello, I'm still enrolled in my university in Rio. So what can I do? What should I do? And they say, do me a favor, audition for Manhattan School of Music, Mannes, and the Juilliard School of Music. And I say, sure. I had some money left from the tour that we had of organ bass. There was 52 performances, and I am gladly showing you here. Okay?
Yeah, that's the poster. Yes.
Yes, with Daniel Ray, Wilhelmina Fernandes. Oh boy, so many great people. Arthur Thompson. My goodness. Terry Cook. Oh boy, that was a great production. I have to tell you, so many memories. I cannot tell you, Caroline.
Hey, Luis, pause for just one moment.
That's okay.
All right. So, I mean, what a wonderful cast. Wonderful singers, each and every one. And you held your own. But did they know? Did they know a future Verdian was in the chorus?
Amen. But that's how it is. You have to start somewhere, But I did not start. I repeat, I did not start, singing bigger, singing Inquisitor and all this and that. No. He asked me, can you sing in a choir of organ bass and do the Undertaker as well? I say, why not? Why not? I'm ready.
How did you feel being around so many Americans? I think was it a culture shock? I'm just curious, just briefly, because I want to talk about how you got to.
Well, can I say something very honest?
Yeah.
For you, I was not shocked. For me, was a surprise because I have never seen so many Black people in the showbiz together doing one single show. And each one of them was trying to be better than the other. Because I'm telling you, I learned something from them, like Stephen Butler, for example, Glenn Harris, for example, that we don't walk, we navigate, we don't sing, we give masterclass. That's what it is. You cannot just be equal, you have to be better. And then I said, wait a minute. And there was so many good singers. You would take any one of them from the chorus and they would sing the hell of it. I mean, give a performance. Okay? Yeah. So I was surprised to see so many people because, unfortunately, in Brazil, we were singing, our pop song, but we will not sing, I said, wow, that's good. Wow. I felt good, can I tell you? I felt good. Felt good. All right. So affirming. I came back to the United States and then I prepared myself, to do the auditions. When I was in Germany, I did some auditions too, because I was there for 3 months. Too much time. And then we went to Vienna, another month, something like that. Mm-hmm. It was too long. And I was doing audition. Actually, I had an experience, and that's where you as a young singer have to have your brains together. I went to audition for the Magic Flute. All right, in Berlin, in a place I forgot. I don't know if it was Würzburg or if it was Hanover. I forgot now. And the guy offered me Mephistopheles. So what? Mephistopheles. I say, yes, Mephistopheles of Boito. And I say, but sir, I'm only 21 years old.
Yeah.
And he say, so what? Jerome Himes' son when he was 19 years old. And I say, well, sir, why don't you do me a favor? Call him. I have to say, I think I had too much nerves The guy
You
come
had a
from,
lot of courage. Yeah, you had a
oh
lot
yeah,
of
this
courage.
guy come from Brazil. He's singing a choir. This man offered him a part that I never. The other thing, and I said, oh, no. He said, okay, that's fine, that's fine, that's fine. What about the Meister singer from Nuremberg? I said, the Meister singer from Nuremberg. Ah, yeah, okay, fine. I was speaking a little German at that time, so nobody
Uh-huh.
fooled me. I was studying Brazil anyway. Somebody told me, learn German. I said, why? I said, just learn. Put the diploma on the wall and forget about it. I said, fine, fine, I will do that. So, and then, um, and then I came to him and say, excuse me, sir, but there are four bass parts in the opera. So, yeah, is that a problem? And I say, no, but which part are you offering me? The main part, of course. And I say, oh, no, hell no. I would take forever to learn this thing. And not to say people would say, look at him. No, I was too young to do these things. And I say,
Yeah.
no, thank you, but no, thank you. And I left. Thank God. I say, no, I don't want to work here because the way they work, I mean, they were in Germany at that time.
The fest system, yeah. It could wear you
Exactly.
down.
It's
Yeah.
enough for you just to have a temperature at 36.4 or to a 94.7, and you're good enough to go. Go, sing. I said, no,
Yeah.
no, no.
So you came to Juilliard
No, I
and
came in audition to everybody. And
yeah.
finally, I got a scholarship from Manhattan School, Manis, and the Juilliard School of Music.
Wow, that's wonderful, all three.
And then I had to decide. I was like really not sure where should I go because I'll be very honest with you, I had no idea about the Juilliard and the weight of the Juilliard name, and I'm behind you, Menace, Manhattan, all great schools. And I say, I don't know. And then at that time, my friend, my brother, Ibrahim Abdul Malik, he's told, he remember Ibrahim?
Oh yeah.
All right. He say, my dear, why don't you go to Juilliard? And I said, all right. And then I went there. They gave me, I think, was 50%. And then I went to study. I went to study with Simon Estes, and then I ended up studying with his teacher, Charles Kellis.
Ah.
And then somehow, so I got a full scholarship. I never had to pay anything, and that was great. I have to say, I was great because Juilliard gave me everything, everything. I mean, gave me the foundation and prepare me for the years that was about to come, and that's how it is.
Yeah.
I love it. I love the
And let's
experience
talk about those years after Juilliard.
after
Um,
Juilliard. Okay.
because, a lot of times in our educational process, we will remember the great things, the heights, and the low points.
All
But
right.
all of it is to prepare us to go out into the world. So
Amen.
once you finished and you started making the rounds,
Okay.
how did it happen for you? Because now you're singing at La Scala and you're singing in major companies around the world.
Uh-huh.
And as a basso, um, it takes time to arrive at the level where you're going to sing a Spari Fucile or sing the Grande Inquisitore, you know?
Right. But again, my teachers taught me not to get into don't get into the heavy stuff before you understand?
Oh,
Like a
yes.
baby. Like a baby. You
Yeah.
born without anything. No teeth at all. Why is that? Why is
Growth.
there? Why don't you tell me what is that? Because your body is not ready to digest all this big stuff that you don't go to the Dallas barbecue, take your little baby and say, here, have a steak. He cannot digest that. Takes time.
Hmm.
Takes time, you understand? And then he start to bite a little something, a little vegetable,
So what
etc.
was your first major role?
My
One
first
that
major
got you
role
excited?
was the king in Aida. That my teacher, Aida,
Ah,
because my teacher, Fernando Teixeira, who was singing, and then he said, go audition. We'll see. Yeah, I'm sure you're going to get it. And then I was singing, and I got very excited. And then I got hooked on it. And I was still working where I was. It's another funny story. Eh? I was working where I was, living in Rio de Janeiro, and studying. What's happened is that I told my, I don't like to say boss, but the man that was in charge of the technician of the place, his name was Pellegrino. What a coincidence, eh?
Yeah.
Alfredo Pellegrino. And he was the big boss, the head engineer of the sugar loft at that time.
Mm-hmm.
And I told him that I need to go to São Paulo to do 3 days, course at Siemens Electronic Equipments. I just had to be there for 3 days only, to do one performance of Aida. And you say, okay, fine, you go. So I was not there Saturday, I was not there Sunday, and I'm confused, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And then I came back Monday late because I took the bus. I couldn't afford to take the plane. Huh? And then I came, oh, Mr. Pellegrino, I'm sorry, I came late. So, did you learn a lot of good stuff there in the Siemens German equipment? I say, sure, I did. Oh, yes, it was fabulous. Now with this new idea, I say, you're a big liar. I say, excuse me? I say, how dare you? I say, what? I say, I'm reading here in the paper, man. You got a good review for the show. I say, look, I know you're going to the university here to learn music. We all know that you're an opera singer, but you're going to have to decide. Or you're working here, or you're going to be an opera singer.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give you 3 months to think about. And I say, Maestro, I don't need 3 months. I decided. I say, well, what? I say, I'm leaving. They say, no, you don't. I say, okay, I make a deal with you. I will train the next person. And when he's ready to take over my position, I'm out. And he say, all right, okay, that's fair enough.
Okay.
And I say, and because usually you have to give it like a 30 days, before you leave your position, because they need me. That's why they hire me. But I had decided, that I said, no, you don't need to tell me that I have 3 months to think about if I want to be an electrician or if I want to be an opera singer. I say, I decided already. I like it. I taste it, and I like it, and I want to continue to doing what I did. And my father said, oh, you're not going to make enough money. There's no people like you singing this. And my mother said, don't listen to your father. Just do it. I say, all right, done. And that's how it is, So that's the story of my life.
Yeah. And then you get here, and then you start. Were you in the Met program, the Lindemann program?
No, I was not.
I didn't read that.
No.
So how did you start working over in Europe again after that Porgy and Bess stint? You're doing solo roles. You're doing roles.
Like one thing, that a lot of people don't know, that before you get there, you have to be somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
They say that the biggest journey of your life is start with the first step. Isn't that true?
Oh, very true. Yes.
Oh, amen. Amen. So I work in a restaurant. I did dog walking for more than 6 years. And at the same time, I was auditioning. I was doing my audition, going to the houses of my friends that I was walking the dogs of it, and changing my clothes, put my suits, and then finish, take back, put my street clothes, and go walk the dogs again. And that was my life. I did this until I sang with every single B, C, D, F company in the United States. I sang with the Regina Opera everywhere. You name it. I went to Hawaii. You name it, I was there.
Mm-hmm.
You name it, I was there. And I had my first manager here, and he was great. Was Peter Rensman.
Oh, Peter,
Great.
yes. Uh-huh.
He was fabulous. And he gave me a lot. He sent me to a lot of opportunity. I cannot say I'm sorry, although I love him. I cannot say that he gave me. I say I gave to myself. But he showed me the way, and that's important.
Yeah.
He showed me the way, and I went and I grabbed it. You hear me?
I
So,
hear you.
all right.
So
So I
what?
did.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So, and then I did, I was, the same thing that I did in Brazil. I was never 100% until in 1998, I decided, I was in the master class of Pavarotti. Oh, Pavarotti. How much I miss that man.
Hmm.
Oh. That he said something that really struck me. He said, if you want something in life, you have to decide. Say, what? Decide and go for it. And I said, okay, well, but this seems very clear to me. Everybody, do exactly this. What's the big deal? And then he comes, and that's the most, what struck me. He said, does not matter how big your ass, you can only sit in one chair at a time. If you try to sit in both of them at the same time, you will fall through and you're going to hit your head in the ground. And I said, wait a minute, he's right. And from that moment, I say, you know what? I will eat bread and water, but I will dedicate myself and I will be the best I can be. And that's it. That's why I came to this country for. I didn't choose to be an opera singer. The musical world chose me.
Mm-hmm.
That's different. You see, I was not born with that idea that, I want to be, some kids, they dream about this thing. No, I was not like that because my father, my mother, there was like a two opposites, saying do this and the other say do that. And my mother say, oh, but he's a sensitive boy. He can do that. It's better for him,
Mm-hmm.
But my father said, but I don't want nobody around the house, 6'2", playing guitar. You gotta find a work. He used to say something else, but I'm not supposed to say here. Would not be allowed.
Well, I think, our parents' wishes are also some of their fears that we as musicians want to, will my child be able to take care of themselves? That I think that's the main fear. It's not necessarily a fear of performing. It's a fear of, will they be able to have, a roof over their head? Will they be able to take care of themselves without compromise? And what I find so refreshing is that your story is one of persistence
Has to be.
and thinking it through. Tell me, what is your favorite role?
My favorite role is the one that I get paid for it.
I
You
know
pay
that's
me,
right.
you pay me, and I will do it the best
Oh
that I
yeah.
can do it. And trust me. That's how I got to Italy. That's how I got to Europe. Do you remember? Now is history. This is not happening anymore. That we used to go all in a kind of a German audition tour. You remember that?
Yes. Yeah.
That
I never
people.
did it though, but yes,
Oh,
I
I did.
remember.
I did. I did like 3 years in a row. I went
Hmm.
to Graz for that program, the
Yeah.
American Institute of Music
I
Studies.
was accepted. I didn't have the money to go.
Uh-huh. That's
Cheers.
why you see you should hang with me because I got the full scholarship. Yeah.
Well, for men, it's different. There's a glut of women.
Oh, wait
And
a
but anyway, let's hear your story. So you did Graz, and then what else?
Yeah. No, I did with William Woodruff, that summer program in Chiari in Italy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So one day I decided instead of going to Germany, And I say, I'm going to look for an agent in Italy. Let's see if that works. And then I met this wonderful lady, the daughter of Pierre Miranda Ferraro, the famous tenor.
Mm-hmm.
They call Beatrice Ferraro. And she accepted me into the agency. And then she said, Luiz-Ottavio, I want you to go to Genova. Remember you mentioned Genova? It's our
Yes.
home. That's our home. And so I want you to go to Germany because they're looking for bass to sing I Vespi Siciliani. And I say, all right, I will do that. And then I got in a train. I was in Milano. One day after my audition to her, she sent me for this audition in Genova. And then I auditioned for Triola, Alberto Triola.
Mm-hmm.
And then he took me to the choir room, just him. And then I said, Palermo terra dorata. I learned something now that I went to Oman. If you want to do something, you better do it good. You better put yourself into it. Dedication, everything.
Mm-hmm.
And then the guy, Alberto Triola, comes to me and says, excuse me, where have you been? I say, excuse me, where have I? Well, what? What were you talking about? And this, surprise, surprise, in Italiano, not English, parlavamo in Italiano. I said, ma signore, ma dove sei? And I said, no, I was here, I just came, this with my luggage is still in my hand. I say, Mr. Faria, I'm sorry to ask you this. Would you mind to do the same thing you did upstairs in the choir room on the stage? Because I'm going to call the director, going to call blah, 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 a bunch of people. The one that will make the decision. And I say, all right then. Caroline, I was just doing my thing. I was just doing what Ben Matthews taught me. I was just doing what Simon, I never studied really with Simon Estes, but I adore him. I was doing the same thing that Fernando Teixeira was telling me. I was doing the same thing that Mario Bertolino, grande Mario Bertolino, was telling me. If you're going to do something, do it. Even if you're going to sing happy birthday to you, do it. Try to make an impression. And I finished the audition, and then comes like three guys say, Mr. Faria, wow, nice to meet you, blah, 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 in Italiano, scusa. I said, ma dove hai imparato italiano? Spiegami, io non capisco.
Where did you learn it? And you...
I said, I wonder, na scola, why? Oh, in the school, I'm sorry. I said, very funny. I said, how well you learned to speak Italian? I said, my friend, don't we have to sing in Italian? You have to try to understand whatever you're singing. I say, makes sense. Fine. What are you doing on October this year? I say, nothing. I was planning to walk dogs. That's what I was planning. And I say, oh, nothing. I say, okay, so we want to do the Procida in I Vespi Siciliani. Va bene? I say, oh, okay, fine. And then I take my luggage, go back to the train station. Let me go back to Milano. And from there, I was supposed to go home, right? And come back to New York City. I am in a train. My cell phone rings. Ottavio, wow, why you didn't call me to tell me that you got the job? It was Beatrice Ferraro. And I said, I'm sorry, what? They told me, I guess they had communicated with you already now that you know. But great, congratulations. Hey, guess what? They want to hear you in Scala too. I said, no, wait a minute. This is out of control. What's going on here? And I said, no, you're not going home today, my friend. I said, no, come, find a little place, stay here, and audition. I'm going to set an audition for you for tomorrow.
So here's the lesson that I'm getting from this. Are you able to hear me?
Oh, yes, very loud, nice and clear.
Yeah, the thing is that if you weren't mentally prepared, You have to be prepared vocally, emotionally, and
Physically,
mentally. Physically,
yeah,
of course.
of
Yes.
course, of
Yeah.
course.
So all of these beautiful things came out of that decision to, oh, let me go to Italy. Yeah.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah. And from that, just name some of the roles that you have performed since that time.
Uh, oh, I don't remember. I did more than 45 so
That's
far,
amazing. Yeah,
and
that's amazing.
I'm only 42 years old. You see, I think I still have a lot of gas in the tank. But let me just mention this because I think it's interesting. You know, I sang one piece on the stage of Scala,
Hmm.
and they offer me on the spot to do Macbeth. Can you believe it? To do Macbeth. For me, was everything was a dream, but you know, like I was still like an, whew, okay, all right. And now, what's gonna happen? I say, that's fine. They offer me Macbeth, but I really don't remember this. I don't know. I have to look, but more than 40 roles. I think I
Hmm.
sang all the Verdi roles. That's for sure. All
Amazing.
the all the Verdi roles. And then when I start to sing Wagner, I developed a taste, and I love it.
Mhm.
And I did also Tannhäuser, Lohengrin, um, the Rings. You know, it's just a matter for you to get used to it. You know, and feel comfortable, and try
That
to do the best.
pacing.
Yes, and
Yeah.
try to do the best as you can, but never best as you can, but never equal to nobody. Are you following me?
Definitely, definitely. So here's a question that I have as well.
All right.
Um, in this time of pandemic, how have you been coping, and what are your plans for once the pandemic is over? How are we going to come off of this, so to speak?
Well, let's start with, well, I guess myself and nobody was expecting there would be such a mess. That is the,
Yeah.
to tell you the truth, I'm still like trying to understand what, I mean, hello, how this happened. I lost 8 contracts in 2019. And they all said that, oh, don't worry, Mr. Faria. We were going to do in 2020. 2020 is here, and nothing happened. And
Mm-hmm.
suddenly, the contract will be for 2021. I have no idea where I'm going to find time to sing everything in 2021 that was supposed to happen in 2020 and part of 2019. So, because as you know, unless if you are a big super opera star, you know, they don't matter how many times you sung Don Carlo, they still want you to be there 30 to 40 days to do the rehearsals.
Oh yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
bad part of it. So I usually have 12 to 13 contracts in a year, and that keeps me very, very, very busy. So, but now what I'm doing teaching online, one thing that I have never done before.
Mm-hmm.
For 10 years, I was in directory of teacher directory at the Juilliard school. You know what I'm talking about. And they call and say, hey, I would like to learn how to sing. Can I hire Simon Esty to teach me? And say, no. But can I ask Caroline Sebron to teach me? I say, no, no, you can't. But we have those guys here, you know, they are alumni, and you can give him a ring and he would tell you they are qualified to teach. I'm talking about there was a long time ago. So I was part of that, and I finally I got some. I got used to the idea to do, you know, even to teach a long distance.
It's very different. It's
It's very different.
quite an adjustment. Yeah.
Yes,
But it
but
but
can be
it
done.
does work.
Can be done. Yes, and
Yeah.
thank God, thank God. I stop. I turn off the television. I am not watching television anymore. I'm
Mm-hmm.
very busy every day. I practice my piano. and I decided to learn Russian and Greek at the same time
Wow.
to put together with my 6 other languages that I speak. So I don't care. I have the time and I'm keeping safe. I was vaccinated already. Thank God. Hallelujah. I was vaccinated. Yes, we are too. Amen. So we are ready. And I'm hoping that this will go away. By the way, I went to Portugal to La Bali, and I sang now during the pandemic, and they did everything perfectly with the mask, everybody wearing protection, and was great. It was a wonderful performance. Maestro Piroli was fantastico,
Hmm.
fantastic, and but I was a little bit terrified, to be in an airplane,
Yeah.
with you don't know what's going on. I mean, I was not vaccinated yet, and I say, oh my God, am I going to get sick? But can I tell you something that I also learned during this so-called pandemic?
What was that?
Wearing a mask is not a bad thing at all.
It's nothing.
It's
You
nothing.
know, singing
I
might
have.
be a little difficult, but just
Do you
wearing the
know
mask, no.
if we always start to do what they're telling us now, Mister, wash your hands, do a proper hygiene, and cover your mouth. We're gonna take all those companies that make cold medicine and all stuff out of business. Do you know why? Because since then I haven't got not even a sneeze, nothing,
Hmm.
zero.
Funny thing about that, isn't it, Luis?
It is very,
Yeah,
very funny.
yeah, yeah,
Years ago, many years ago, I was in Japan. I used to go there all the time.
yeah.
All right. And I see people with a mask everywhere, because for them it's a culture thing. They have a mask all the time. They use they wear a mask. Even they say, "Oh no, I feel a little sniffy, so I don't want to pass to you, so I'm wearing my mask." And I say, "But why? Why?" I could, and I say to him, I could say, "What was my question?" Uh, and I was doing a production, and silly me, silly, silly. I did the same question when I was doing the on the town on the center in the Central Park once.
Uh-huh.
We saw with the George, what's his name? My goodness. Uh, okay, I think who is my cover? Say, your cover? You don't have a
Uh-huh.
cover. Say, I'm in this big production and we don't have a cover. And say, no. Well, why? Why you need a cover? Are you okay? Are you fine? I say, I am fine, but what if I get sick? If I catch a cold, or etc. Say,
Yeah.
you be the first, Mr. Faria, because here nobody gets sick. Say, that's why we wear our mask. I say, what? So
There's
suddenly,
something to be said for
yes,
appreciating other people's
if
practices, especially
listen,
now.
listen, I have seen many. Nobody knows the trouble I've seen. Listen, I have been around friends. I'm not going to name the countries because I don't want to get in trouble here right now. But this guy go to the toilet, go to the bathroom, come back. He never washed his hand and comes to, hey, how are you? I say, I was fine until you arrived. Get away from me. Hey, what's the matter with you?
Don't share the love.
And
Yes.
in some countries, they come, hey, Carolyn, give me a kiss. I say, oh, hey, hello.
Well, I think as singers, I was told I was being obsessive about mask and hand washing at the beginning of this. But I have one of my brothers is a nurse in the Midwest, and I had been reading things, and I eventually I bought him some of the face shields
Mm-hmm.
and sent them to him. To send them, the shipping cost was actually more than the shields cost. He eventually contracted COVID, but he's fine now. He was in the hospital. And as far as all of this, I think science wins. Science wins. The more information they have, they will revise their protocols and
Right,
whatnot.
right,
But
right.
as singers, you know, I think the lesson to be learned here is about being flexible, is it not? You know, learning how to teach online.
Oh yes,
Some people are producing things online and
oh yes.
planning. So what are your plans? You said you have a multitude of contracts coming up after this. Just
Right.
give us a taste of what the repertoire is going to be.
Well, I have a few things. I have the Rise and Fall of Mahogany. There's
With
one.
file, right?
This yes, goodbye. That's going to be doing with my one of my very favorite stage director. That's Hemming Brockhaus. He's the Zeffirelli. I'm telling you, he's the German Zeffirelli.
Mm.
And I did 2 shows with him. I did Don Carlo in Bologna, and I did
That's where I
Lauren
did my
Green.
first one. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I did Lauren Green in Brazil, in São Paulo,
Hmm.
Brazil. And
Hmm.
he loves my work, and he appreciates that I go deep into the part because that's how it is. I study,
That's how
but
it
not
should be for
only.
anyone.
No, should not. Study is just the beginning. You have to
Yeah.
investigate. You have to question why there is 3 little dots after you say something. Oh, don fatale. 1, 2, 3. Oh, don crudel. Why? Why am I saying that? You have to go back. You have to read the letters of Verdi. You have to try to, that's how
Read
it
the
is.
history. Read the
Exactly.
history. Study.
Exactly.
I have to say, I have lost most of my Italian. You know, it's been a number of years. Then I in grad school for voice pedagogy, and I have lost my language, you know, and I'm not I don't have a big brain like you where I speak 6 languages. You know, I speak some Italian, I speak some French, and then I struggle with German. But the thing is, not using it, you know, I feel a loss there
Right.
because even though you know now I'm moving into education and administration and whatnot, I still enjoyed the musicality of the language.
Of
And
course.
when you're studying roles, the things that you do when you investigate, talk about that a little bit more. And then we're going to do a quick wrap up, and I'm going to play, I think, some of the Inquisitore to take
Oh,
us out. Yeah.
that's nice. That's nice.
So talk about more about your how you prepare. Like just before you go on stage, what time do you come to the theater, for instance? These are like nuts
Oh,
and bolts things that maybe some of the younger singers would like to hear about.
oh, absolutely. Well, I'm the first one to come to the theater to start with.
If curtain is at 8, what time are you there?
8 o'clock. I'm there 5 o'clock. 3 hours minimum. 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 Why? Because you need to, first of all, if you are very close to the theater and you can walk. I have one rule. I never stay more than 10 minutes away walking from the theater to start with. Why? Because I don't want to depend on transportation, public transportation or whatever, because a lot of things can happen. A lot of things can happen. And you don't know what. I can tell you a quick story. Once I was doing a show in Brazil that the hotel was on the side of the theater. I mean, there was only one little street. You could hear the whole day people playing instrument and all this kind of stuff. And we're doing oratorio
Hmm.
by Padre José Mauricio Garcia. Okay, it's a mass in D. I think it was a B flat major. The thing is that the maestro, he was really into rehearsing. You know that guys that like to rehearsal until you
Yeah,
can
full
rehearse.
run in the morning and performance at night. I hate that.
Oh, this one was better. Was one in the morning, one run in the morning, one run in the afternoon, and then the performance. And
Oh
I was there
dear.
already for a whole week. And I say, no, I will give you the morning, but in the afternoon, it's for me. Oh, no, no, you don't. You have to be here. I said, no, I will not. And I didn't. I see you at the show. I say, fine. And then I was so tired because I was so tired already. Because when some people say, oh, how many times do you sing a specific role before you go to the stage? How many times do you sing that aria before you go to the stage? I say, oh, nothing, just about 1,000 times. So my question was, am I doing this rehearsal for me or this rehearsal is for you? It's enough. How many times? I mean, I cannot sing this 3 times a day. It's an oratorio, I understand. But so I went to the hotel, I took a shower, and I lay down on the bed. Caroline, I was gone. The nap that was supposed to be only for half an hour became like 6 hours.
Oh my gosh.
And then I hear, I said, oh boy, what is that? But this is my music. I was supposed to come in 10 minutes after that.
Oh my God.
And I said, no, what? Oh, that son of a gun, he didn't call me. He's mad at me. Probably somebody already singing in my place. No checking, no nothing. And I said, okay, fine. I run. You don't believe it. I came like all my preparation was gone. When I had no ties, nothing. I came like, and I have to sing a high D immediately and down to a F. And then I still like waking up my voice. From that moment, and I say, never again. I was still not doing that 3 rehearsals in a day, but I have to be one of the first in the theater. Why? Because I cool down, I relax, I drink my water, I put my humidifier inside of my dressing room, and then I vocalize, because there are some people that still believe, especially, in some European countries, they don't believe that you should vocalize. You just waste your voice. How many times have you seen a performance that the first act is really bad? And then it starts to get interesting after the second and the third. And by the fourth act, you say, whoop, that was the same guy that was singing before. That was the same guy.
Yeah, different kinds of discipline, it's a
I,
very interesting thing.
Listen, I was in Palermo, for example. I sang in Palermo for 8 straight seasons. I was the king of Palermo. They call me La Roccia Nera. You know what I mean? The black stone or the black rock. Because I was, look, you can go to my YouTube site channel and see. I was doing Ana Bolena. There was 3 Ana Bolena, and I was the only Enrico. I was singing every day at the performance. Nobody wants to do that. I said, oh no, I need to rest. I need to do that. And what I want to say is that I was going to start to me. I say, shut up. Save some for the stage. Let me relax here. Why you have to vocalize so much? I said, I'm not vocalizing at all. It's only 20 to 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And no, but they thought that was too much. Why this guy keeps vocalizing?
It's a thing, right? We all have our own routines. We all have our various idiosyncrasies,
Yeah.
I too like to get to the theater early. I usually go and then I work out and then I come back and I'll take a shower and then I'll stretch a little bit and then maybe I'll take a little nap and then I'll have dinner and then I'll vocalize. Then I'll start my makeup. And then the costume comes at the very last minute. Then the wig people come. And because once I put my costume on, generally I don't sit back down again because I don't like having wrinkles in my costume.
There you go. Oh, I don't blame you.
And I think one of the things is that we are so used to an instantaneous response and results, that taking that time is part of the preparation for you
It's
going out on stage, part of you getting into character, part of preparing your voice to be a singing actor, because that's what opera is. What is
that
your vision, Louise, for opera coming down the road as we come to the close of this interview, our chat? Really, it's not an interview; it's a chat. But what is your vision for opera in the, say, the next 10 years, and where do you place yourself in the center of that? What do you think? Where do you see yourself? What do you see yourself doing?
I just would like to add something that you said before that I think is very important. You as a performer, you as a singer, an actor, your performance, your ability does not start when you're on the stage. It starts right there on your dressing room. You get into the part right there.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? The same thing. You get into the part before even you go there. That's why you need to have time. When you rush somebody like I did, wake up and have to run, go to the theater and sing it, you don't have time to do all that preparation, but
Mm-hmm.
you still have to do it because you were paid to do that. You will do it, but we will not be as great, but you will do it. Well, what I have to say about that, opera is not going anywhere. Can I tell you? Since 1970s, I keep hearing, oh, this form of art is dead. Oh, blah, 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 blah. No, it's not, and will never be. So now, if you're saying that, oh, the companies used to make tons of money making records, CDs, etc., 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 and keep all the profits and give you a penny for every record you made. I have a few of them out there. I used to receive one check, $112, $150. Once in a while, suddenly, zero, nada. I have records in many places. I'm not going to mention, but if you go there, you'll find out. Why I'm not mentioned? Because they don't give me no commission or nothing. I don't care about it. So that's fine. I did my job. I signed the contract where they say that they might use it. And if you don't like it, suck it up and go home to your mama and cry. All right. So opera is not going anywhere because opera is the only, for me, is the only form of art that allows you to travel into time. Okay, travel into time, like it's a time machine.
I like that. I really
Oh,
like that.
yeah,
We
and
get
you
to
see it,
pretend. We get to
yeah,
do fantasy.
and you sit it right there. And you sit right there and you enjoy all of that, all the live. I cannot wait to go back because there is nothing that can replace a live performance.
I
If I
agree.
tell you how many CDs, DVDs, records I have here in my closet, I have a closet only with that over 500 records. I don't want to listen to. If you tell me, Luiz-Ottavio, with your beautiful voice, I'm going to sing Eboli tomorrow in the Metropolitan, and say, I will be there. Do you know why? Because all that thing, that majesty, all that atmosphere, that bring you something, that let you try. Even with some stage directors today wants to do everything like we're in the Second World War, or that Mimi is dying in a hospital, with all those things that doesn't make any sense. A total disrespect to the libretto, total disrespect to the. I have to tell you another thing. I did Turandot. I don't know how many times I sang Turandot.
Mm-hmm.
And then one day, Gena Dimitrova was singing a Met. And then I said, I did exactly, I was singing with Guleghina at Arena di Verona. Okay. And then I said, you know what? Let me go and see. And there was the production of Zeffirelli.
Oh, yes.
When came open the In questa radio, say, oh, Madonna Santa. That's why I'm coming to the opera. I was like a, and this is somebody that I have seen so many performances of Turandot. I have sung so many, and I was like I start to cry. Can you believe it?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
start to cry, and I say, my God, my God, my God. So I saw the I worked with Zeffirelli a few times, and I worked in Aida and a few other shows, and it's the kind of work, that when you see, you say, don't matter if you're old. Now you imagine if you, that's what I say, people are worrying about the future of the opera, but forgetting that the future of the opera, remember that little baby that was born in 1963 at 11:50 p.m. and then crying like a baby? All right? In a school, do you know what they did? They will bring the whole school and say, hey, Caroline Sebron is singing today. Let's bring the kids to watch the dress rehearsal. That's how we bring people to get interested into the thing. It's not to put a fee and say, here, it's $250 for you to sit in an orchestra seat, pay, watch, or get out, or stand in a line to try to pay for $20. That's not how you bring. When we did Porgy and Bess, excuse me, when we did Porgy and Bess in Berlin, 52 performances, every single night sold out. But why? It's different in Germany and not in the United States. It has nothing to do about the show. It has nothing to do about the opera. It's because the people, they're exposed to that kind of information, to that kind of culture in the early ages.
Yeah, and right now there's a lot of discussion, and we're going to have to start to wrap up here. But there's a
Right.
lot of discussion about Black Lives Matter, and I understand the importance of that. The other thing is within the context of what we do. I think there has to be a retrenchment, a reorganization, a redefinition of socially that you can like hip hop and you can like opera too.
Oh, yes.
You can like jazz and you can like oratorio and recital. There's nothing wrong with that. And I think we have to give people permission as artists. We artists have to give people permission because a lot of the conversation is happening now on the administrative level and with the composers, opera composers. They want to get their works out. But what I keep trying to say to people is it will be the singers who will take it forward, in terms of this genre. Where are the opera stars right now? We talk about Price, we talk about um, oh gosh, George Shirley and people like that. There's a whole new generation coming, but there were people in between that were out there doing their work, and they're not known because the production became the star value, or the director became the star
Exactly.
value. And so now I think it's time for singers, the performers, singers in particular, to reclaim our right.
I
Because
agree. I agree
because it's
100%.
because
And
who goes and sings the arias
there you
for the
go.
operas?
And well, yeah, amen. Amen. That's what it is. And just to add one more thing, if you allowed me,
Please.
we should all today and in the future, especially in the future, one thing, we should not forget that we are in the present. But if you want to preserve, and you should, because a man with no culture, he's going to be a man in a cave. And this is going to be bad. I remember now why my mother gave me the guitar, because she said, you know what? It's better to have him here studying, than go out and be hanging out with those bad boys outside, and we don't know what's going to happen. So that's what it is. But, thank my mother for that. But what I want to say is that we are here today thanks to those that came before us and opened all the doors for us like my very favorite Paul Robeson, Mary Anderson, and then you go, Shirley Verrett, Leontine Price, you name it, Martina Arroyo, my diva absoluta.
Yes, yes.
Exactly. Caroline Sebron, I don't know if you've ever heard about her. She's too young, but anyway. But and all those people, I have to tell you, all those people that went there did a fabulous job and say, yes, we can do it. We just need an opportunity. And that's it.
Yeah.
That's what it's about. My advice for the young singers today, don't wait to be prepared when you get there. Do as much as you can. Try to absorb whatever you can before you get there, because when you get there, it's already. Let me be clear about that. We learn at the Juilliard, of course. I went to 3 or 4 different universities and conservatory, okay, if I remember correct. No, 5 actually, 5. But the best school, the theaters, the stage, where you learn, but not every theater, like Metropolitan, they will not give you a chance to make a mistake there on the stage, of course not. But they have the best tools. They have coaches, marvelous coaches, like Linda Hall, John Don. It's so many great people. You understand that you spoke about the program that the Metropolitan has, like San Francisco has with Merola, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You don't have to jump on the stage, but you could have a school or academia like Scala has, Bologna has, you understand, Venice has, for you get there, prepare, and see. Do you imagine? I had this experience. I sang with Domingo when I was 19 years old. And I look at that guy and say, wow, that's Domingo. You understand?
But this is also the reality of life, that
Yeah.
yes, you may be in the chorus, but you're standing next to these people to hear
Thank
them.
you.
I remember when Kathleen Battle
Oh,
sang the Eines Deutsches Requiem by Brahms
mhm,
with the
mhm.
Cincinnati May Festival. I was in high school, so I'm dating myself. But to stand behind her as she sang da da dee da dee da da dee da da. Oh my
Marvelous.
gosh. It
Marvelous.
was such a moment, and it was history. You see, it was history. And that if the young singers can understand that, you may be in the chorus, you may not be ready for a role, but go to the performances, go to the
Amen.
dress rehearsals,
That's it.
watch the coachings, say, oh, maestro, can I sit with the score and follow along with the orchestra? Because most people won't do that. And you will be establishing yourself to feed yourself artistically, but also you'll be standing out because like that one over there, Faria, he came to the rehearsal. He wasn't required to be there, but he just sat there with the score and studied
Right, 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 right.
because you wanted to be there. So listen, I'm going to thank you so much. Our play out will be a bit of the duet from Don Carlo during the credits. Thank
Okay.
you all so much for coming to be with us for Sebron. Our next guest in a week or so will be Barbara DeMaio, who is the executive
Oh
director
my
of
Lord.
Peanut Sky Opera.
Oh my goodness, I didn't know
And
her.
okay, and so we'll see you then. So
Well,
thank you so much, Louise, for being with us today, and thank you all for viewing. And please keep coming back. I would also say, if you like the work that we're doing here, please register and subscribe to our channel. Thank you so much.
absolutely.